Khan. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom, shalom, beloved Akim and Agwath. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just want to get into a brief live stream, pretty much talking to the situation that's going on with ICE and these, detention centers that they're hot on pursuit to build. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the reality behind it, because as we know, as we're aware of, we're coming into some deadly times, man. We're already in them, but, things are going to unravel. Persecution is going to come to fruition in its perfection. And Esau is going to pursue his brother with the sword as he's always done. All right? Because one thing we have to remember, all right, Esau, he's a man of deception. He's a man of lies. All right? And he's a man of death. All right? And ultimately, he's on hot. He's still hot, in the spirit for what happened eons ago, bro. All right? And again, when you go back to the beginning of time, all right, in Genesis, the 27th chapter, Esau said something very, very specific, all right, to how he felt about Jacob. Matter of fact, let's go start there real quick. Let's go get that real quick. You Akiyam and Akwat know where I'm going. Right, this is the book. This is the book of Genesis chapter 27 and verse 41. And it reads this. Matter of fact, I'm going to get this in the GMB as well. See what it says there. And it reads this. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. Okay? So what we have to understand, what's that blessing consist of? The birthright. Okay? What we have to understand is that Esau is still trying to take back that birthright that his progenitor in the form of Esau sold to Jacob, bro. Okay, see, and again, we're not talking to you regular Joe six-packs, you don't know what's going on. You regular Joe Schmo, working in a warehouse or mechanic shop or a grocery store with Jake. No, man. But the global elite, no. What we're saying regarding what I'm bringing out right now through the spirit is valid. This is what this is oriented around. How do we know? How can we prove it? This dude's trying to do the same thing, via technology. You see, he's trying to create a synthetic immortality via technology, man. By pursuing transhumanism and linking you up with machine, preserving the brain through technology, putting it in a computer. He's trying to do what the blessed what the birthright entails. All right, he's trying to do it synthetically, man. All right, showing you that that's what he's seeking for. Okay, evil is seeking for immortality, man. He ain't gonna get it. All right, because he's not righteous. All right, like as it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter, righteousness is immortal. All right, so that's the only way immortality can be obtained. All right, it's through righteousness. You see, that's the only way you're going to be able to gain access to that fruit of the tree of life. Okay, it's the only way, and it's through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. He ordains that. You see that, and that's only it's for Israel, man. Starting with the elect. That's what the second covenant's all about. The second covenant is going to bring us back into good graces with our power, because we fell from grace. Okay? From Adam to Eve, man. We were immortal at that time, man. You see? We were evicted all right, out of the garden east of Eden. All right, you can read about it in Genesis, you know? And by the sweat of our brow, we had to get it. All right? Since the fall of Adam and Eve. All right? And Adam and Eve were not the only ones in the garden. But that's another lesson for another time. They weren't the only ones around. All right? But anyways, continuing on here. So yeah, man, this is what it's all about. Esau is seeking out, okay, that birthright, man. This is what he's pursuing, and we're gonna make it make sense. The Lord showed me something through the Spirit, via a couple of pieces of information that I stumbled across through the Spirit. You know, you got Esau pursuing Jake with the eyes, building these detention centers, dressing up as if it's gonna be for immigrants. Nah, man, Esau's about to come down. All right, because Esau is not looking too good. Okay, in various areas, all right, of his walk right now, Esau is not looking too good. All right, he's being revealed. Okay, he done been found out. All his dirty little secrets are coming to the light. You see, all right, and he's going extinct, man. All right, we got some information on that through this way. This man's going extinct, man. All right, the Edomite woman, her womb is cursed, and evil seed is is diminished, man. All right, let's go. This is the book of back in the book of Genesis 27:41 from the top. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And for you new listeners that don't know, you should know by now. Esau is the progenitor of the so-called self-proclaimed white man. All right, when you read in the 25th chapter, it said that he came out red all over like a hairy garment. He came out red. He came out with no melanin. This is why his Hebrew name is Esau. It's Isashua. Isaac named him Isashua, which means wasted away is he. Okay? And Jacob is the progenitor of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Jacob's name was changed to Israel in Genesis, the 32nd chapter, after he wrestled the angel. All right, with his thigh out of place. All right? He is the progenitor of the 12 tribes. Via his 4 wives, he had 12 sons. All right, which consists of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why Jacob and Israel, that's synonymous. All right? That name is interchangeable. But needless to say, look at, and Esau said in his heart, in his mind, heart in the Hebrew's love, right? Your mind. Esau said this in his mind, ready? The days of mourning for my father are at hand, because Isaac was on his deathbed. He said, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob, man. This nigga's like, when my dad passed away, I'm going to kill this nigga, man, for what he did. You see him, even though he sold his birthright to Jacob. But that's the way Esau gets down. And he was blessed with that sword. He was living by that sword since the beginning. All right? And he's still using that. He's still pursuing Jacob with the sword. He's still pursuing us, man. All right? And that's what we're going to show you. Right now, check this out. I wanted to get this in the GMB real quick. I'm just curious. And then we're going to jump into some information. All right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 41, real fast. Let's see what it says here. And it reads, all right, Genesis 27:41 in the Good News Bible, and it reads, Esau hated Jacob because his father had given Jacob the blessing. Again, which, as we know, the blessing evolves around the birthright, right? He thought, being Esau, he thought, right, the time to mourn my father's death is near. Then I will kill Jacob, man. All right, and this narrative hasn't changed. All right, Esau's still rolling in his mindset. This is why this is not a coincidence why the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, preferably Northern Kingdom right now, are the face of this ICE campaign. Okay? This is not a coincidence. See, we know why. We know why. This is why. All right? Esau's still seeking the life of Jacob, bro. If Esau had it his way, he'll eradicate us if he could. Okay? But the Lord laid a snare in his way, where he allowed, Jake to, mingle with the other nations. Now you got Israelites looking like a full-blown Cambodian, man. Okay? Speaking Cambodian, eating like a Cambodian. You know, and it's a so-called white man, so-called African. It will be an Israelite, man. Unbeknownst to them. The Lord done snared Esau in that fashion. You see? So even from face value, if he was to knock off every single so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, there's still Israelites on the earth. All right? Showing you that the Lord's dealing. But either way, let's go here. And I don't have as much time as I think. You know, through the spirit. So let me get to the point. I'm gonna cut to the chat. I got a couple pieces of information I want to share with you, beloved Akia Menakwa. First and foremost, let me see here. Yeah, let me get this article real quick, right? And this is from I got it from Bloomberg Business. It's in various places, but it's titled it's dated January 29th, 2026. The title reads, ICE begins buying mega warehouse detention centers across the US. All right, and these are really going to be death centers, man. All right, because there's no way they're going to be sitting there holding you, spending money to hold you and feed you and get you clothes and clean. Nah, man. All right, hey, for those of you that don't know out there, you better understand how Esau gets down. Okay? Scripture says if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the end, he will declare his wickedness, man. He don't do good. He doesn't know how to do good. He wasn't created to do good, evil E. But check this out. Plans for such centers and jails in nearly 24 communities have sparked protests over suitability, proximity to homes and schools. All right? Despite protests in small towns and cities across the U.S., the Trump administration is pushing ahead with the purchase of warehouses it plans to convert into immigration jails in what could be the largest expansion of such detention capacity in U.S. history. Right, because Esau's in the position now where he got to move. He got to start. He got to knock off Jake at an alarming rate if he wants his diabolical dream to come true, which revolves around this fourth industrial revolution, man. He's got to knock Jake off, man. All right, because what he understands is that he's being outnumbered, and we're gonna show you something. It all makes sense why this dude's doing what he's doing, and why he's specifically targeting Jake. All right, check it out. The cost for acquiring 2 warehouses alone was $72 million. A third in El Paso, Texas, could be among the largest jails of any kind in the country. If completed as envisioned, with 8,500 beds. The deals mark the latest turn in U.S. immigration and customs enforcement's plan to use as many as 23 warehouses for detaining thousands of immigrants arrested by federal agents in Minneapolis and other cities. Those aggressive enforcement actions have ignited clashes with protesters and led to agents deleting 2 U.S. citizens. And Esau's real slick. You see how he dresses things up to where he can be in the cut doing wickedness. All right, because you better believe, man. All right, because we already know. It came out. The people that he's going to schools. All right, grabbing youngsters, man. All right, he's grabbing workers, individuals that are working, bro. There's businesses that went out of business because he's done knocked off and grabbed up Jake that had form of citizenship too. They don't care. This is not what it's about. All right, and they like to say, oh, they're criminals, they're murderers, and child whatever, all this crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, all right, again, word came out that they're picking up just regular individuals trying to go to work, trying to make a living, bro. You know, all those cats aren't. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Moving like that, bro. You know. But Esau, he has the ability to sell you a story, because he has control of the media. He has control over the narrative, man. That's a big part of his deception. All right, this news and media, and people are drunk off it, man. All right, you got people that think they're on the level because they're watching ABC News. Nigga, you just as deceived. You don't know what's going on, bro. Okay? No idea, man. All right, but look at this. Let me get a little more of this, right? On January 16th, the administration paid $102 million for a site near Hagerstown, Maryland, according to a local court filing a week later. The government paid $70 million in cash for a warehouse in Surprise, Arizona. The price tag's roughly in line with the industry average for warehouse market. cover just the acquisition of the sites, which are currently empty shells. ICE still has to pay companies to outfit the buildings with toilets, showers, beds, dining, recreation areas, and then run them as detention centers, man. And you love how they're saying a detention center. No, man, these are deletion camps. All right, don't let nobody tell you different. Now, real quick, because again, Esau is a demon, bro. He's not gonna just sit there and house you, and you know what I mean? Nah, man. Hey, they're finding bodies washed up. All right, because Esau throwing Jake out the plane over the ocean, bro. But the evidence washed up. See how the Lord's allowing evidence to wash up on Esau? He can't get away with his diabolical activity like he did before. You got alligator Alcatraz. What do you think they're doing with them alligators all around that place, bro? Yeah, you already know. Making Jake disappear. You see? Now check this out real quick. Now I got this video real quick, right? From Speaker Johnson, right? From the good old party, right? They call themselves the GOP. You already know. Esau's through, right? And if this video, it's from ABC, believe it or not, regarding his talking point, regarding the outcome of their approach towards immigration after the partial government shutdown. Now, he's gonna say a few things. Now, listen what this dude says, right? Esau is real deceiving, man. But listen, this is fair use. All right, this is for educational purposes only. I'm not making any monetary gain off of this clip.
American people, but I'm glad to tell you, I'm happy to American people, but I'm glad to tell you, I'm happy to report, Republicans got the job done. Our majority worked together, and we got the bills over the line. So we've now funded 11 of the 12 separate appropriations funding bills for the government for the year, and that's a big achievement because it's a big move towards regular order is something we promised and committed to. The biggest move towards that in many, many years. Now, the president, the White House have engaged in good faith with Democrats in the Senate, and they've said they would negotiate on the final bill, the Homeland Bill. And you might say, well, now that 96% of the government is funded, it's just 4% what's out there. But it's a very important 4%. Because remember what the Homeland Security Bill covers. It's not just Immigration Customs Enforcement. It's not just Customs and Border Patrol. It is TSA. It's the agents who keep us safe in the airports and keep air travel moving. It's the Coast Guard. It's Secret Service. It's FEMA. We're in the middle of winter storms that people are still digging out from. So this is no time to play games with that funding. We hope that they will operate in good faith over the next 10 days as we negotiate this. The president, again, has reached out. We are restoring calm in Minnesota. But again, we make the plea and the demand that the governors and the mayors in these blue states and blue cities participate with federal law enforcement so that we have a safer environment in which to implement and to enforce federal immigration laws. Very, very important, and it's something the American people demand and deserve. So we'll go forward now. We hope that everyone is in good faith. We think the next 2 weeks will be critical, but I hope that they will not keep that funding in suspense because it's too important to the American people. Chad.
Now you see Esau, right? He's able to go up on the podium, right, with a comb over, some glasses, a three-piece suit, and talk real smooth, man. Right? And somehow, some way, he's right. Right? But here it is. These people are coming after the people that were here before them. That's what's so crazy. They're labeling Jake immigrants, man, when they were over here before these cats, bro. All right? They're ripping Jake off the land that they were at before they were here. You know? When you look at it for what it is, man. How crazy is that, bro? You see? How crazy is that when you really examine what this dude's doing? You know? And he sits up there and he speaks real smooth and, you know, and they're having issues. You heard what he said. He's hoping that they hope that the governors and mayors of these various cities, you know, work with the federal agents, the ICE agents, because they're federal agents, bro. Them ICE agents, man. You see? Because these mayors and governors aren't working with them, bro. The Lord threw a monkey wrench in Esau's plan. It's not working as smooth and cohesive as it would have in the days of old. You see? The Lord's throwing monkey wrenches in Esau's plans now. That's how this thing is going down. Yeah, man, hypocrisy of these damn devils, bro. And it vexes you, too. It vexes me, man. Like, how the way that I can't wait for the Lord to get this dude, man. I can't wait for the Lord to get Esau, man. I really, truly can't wait. You know? Now the heathens done did us dirty as a whole. But Esau, man. Esau, that's gonna be, man. Esau, man, he gotta get it. You know, the Lord, man. Oh man. Let's do something else, bro. Esau something else. He truly is, man. Let me get something real quick through the spirit. This nigga is something else, bro. Let me get this real quick. This just came to the spirit. Where's that? Sirach. Is that Sirach 37 or 36? Let me see something real quick. I think it's 37. But I could be. Matter of fact, no, it's 36. So right here, let's go. Check this out. The book of Ecclesiastes, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 26, and it reads, "Who will trust a thief well appointed?" All right? Esau's a well appointed thief, man. And you got Jake still trusting in him, though. You got Jake still going down to the voting booth. Hey, you same Jake that are getting caught up. All right? You so-called Latinos, right? And Native American. You were walking around talking about Latinos for Trump. You know, we seen you. All right, we seen you, Jake, too. You Southern Kingdom, niggas for Trump, right? That was a mantra that was going around. You 2/3, right? Latinos for Trump. We seen the shirts. Matter of fact, I got a thumbnail. If I can't, my brother got a thumbnail of one of you Northern Kingdom cats with a shirt, Latinos for Trump, and you getting hauled off into an ICE van. You see? Look how foolish you are, man. You trusted this guy. Look at who will trust a thief well appointed that skippeth from city to city. Okay? So who will believe a man that has no house? All right, Esau is a vagabond, man. All right, Esau is on the run. You see? Esau's on the run. He's a culture vulture. All right? This man doesn't have real, he needs to be back in. If he has anywhere to settle, it's over there in Petra. You see? Over there in Mount Seir. Look, check this out. And lodges wheresoever the night taketh him, man. That's this guy. You see? He'll settle on your land and say, it's mine, man. And this is what he's done. But he's got to pay for that, though. You see? Let me get another one, because he's speaking real smooth. You hear him? Let me see something real quick. In Isaiah. Oh, no, it's actually the book of Psalms. Chapter 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, man. Hear him up there talking all smooth. I will hope that. And I got a little more of that video, too. We're going to go back. Look at the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Right? War was in his mind. Right? Genesis 27 and 41. Right? His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. Okay? And notice how you, Jake, are usually manipulated by Esau because he talks smoothly to you and you believe him. Right? Let's go back to that clip real quick. Because there's a little bit more. Because listen to his stance regarding this whole attack on Jake. They're not going to change that stance, Jake. That's why you, Jake, need to just repent while you still can.
Really think that they can work out something in such? Do you really think that they can work out something in such a short time period? That's not much time.
I do. I mean, if everyone comes to the table in good faith, I'll tell you what we are not going to do. We're not going to work towards some sort of amnesty program or something. Some Democrats have whispered that that's what they would be about. We are not going to impede the enforcement of federal immigration law. We can't do that. We have to apprehend these dangerous criminals. We have convicted murderers and rapists and child molesters in cities across America, and we have.
Wait a minute. You heard him? Murderers, rapists, and child molesters. You heard him? He fits every category. They fit every category of that.
Amnesty program or something. Some Democrats have whispered that that's what they would be about. We are not going to impede the enforcement of federal immigration law. We can't do that. We have to apprehend these dangerous criminals. We have convicted murderers and rapists and child molesters in cities across America, and we have immigrations and customs.
And they're not proving none of that. Again, who they're collecting, none of that's being proved. Just like how the cats they were bombing off the coast of Venezuela, in them little boats. None of that was proof that they were drug cartel or drug dealers or anything like that, or trafficking or anything like that. And on top of that, via maritime laws, you're not supposed to be put to death for drug trafficking, bro. You end up doing time for that. You know? You will still see the light of day at the end of the day. You see? But no, man, through the Trump administration, they're putting you to deletion, for so-called drug trafficking, bro. But again, with none of that even being validated. All right? From the looks of it, they were just fishing, man. you know, you know what I'm saying? But this is the demon. This is the devil that we're dealing with, man. All right? Hey, the murderers and child molesters and rape. This is Esau. He fits every one of those categories. But what he does best is what? He slandereth his own mother's son. Right? As the scriptures say. Right? I'm going to go get that real quick. And I got one more piece of information I want to share with you, Akiyam and Akwa. You see what they're able to do? And look at him. He's up there with that comb over. You know what I mean? Them $5,000 glasses. This is $5,000 suit. He's able to say something and everyone believes it. He accusing Jake of everything that he's guilty of. Absolutely. And he's always done it. Right? Which leads me to this precept through the spirit. Khan, a lot. He's always done it, man. And I got to run in a second, but I got one more little piece of information. Let me see here, right here. This is the book of Psalms chapter 50. I'm going to start at verse 16 and jump down. And it reads so we can get context. But unto the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child. Right, Malachi 1 and 4. But unto the wicked, power saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Right. And Esau's taken the Bible, weaponized it, okay, stood on it as if it was a foundation for his Babylonian inception. But in reality, no. All right, did everything contrary. They swear on the Bible, and then they're doing opposite. You can be with the same. You could be with the same size. You can move around like a damn complete heretic, bro. You can do whatever you want in this place, bro. It's everything you can do in this place is contrary to the scriptures, man. All right, righteous judgment doesn't go forth. All right, here it is. You got caught red-handed for murder, and you in jail doing 2 life sentences, man. Nah, man. It shouldn't be like that, man. What are you talking about, E? Nah, man. According to the scriptures, hey, this supposed to go back to the spiritual world, man. You see? Point blank, period. And that's just a few examples. Oh, he claimed to be the chosen. All right. Dropped the ball miserably with that. As we see the madness going on over there in Israel, man. But check this out. Jumping down to verse 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, right? Jacob, this is who this talking to, right? This nigga Esau sits and speaks against his brother Jacob, man. What's he do? Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. Okay? And when you go into that word slander, it goes into what's that term they use? He has a law on it himself. There's a term for it, bro. Damn. Matter of fact, if I get the definition, it'll lead me there. If I get the definition of slander real quick. I remember defamation of character. The Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Defamation of character is what slander's talking to. That's defamation of character, which is against the law in this nigga society. But this is what he do. Okay? This is what he does. You see that? But he's guilty. Man, this do something else, bro. Right? Thou sittest and speaking against thy brother and slanderest thy own mother's son, bro. But it's all good because Yahweh Shai is going to get us. Because at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai is going to back us up, man. But at the end of the day, Esau is doing all this madness again because he's running out of time. The Lord is literally cutting Esau off. I got to fly, beloved Akiyam and Akwa, Salakia, but I'm going to pull this article out real quick. All right? This is from Independent. All right? And it's dated Friday, January 30th. And the title reads, White births now make up less than half of all U.S. newborns, bro. Okay, let's read that again. White births, and it's so-called white because they're not white. You're not benevolent. You're not innocent. All right? You're far from it. So-called white births, right? The so-called white baby births now make up less than half of all newborns in the U.S. The Lord's cutting Esau off. His old lady's womb is cursed and his seed is spoiled, man. Okay? And ultimately, Esau knows these statistics. He knows this, man. He knows he's being outbreeded. All right? Who do you think he's being outbreeded by? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the rest of the heathen, and the heathen too. Okay? So now Esau's like, that's another reason why he's hot on Jake's tail. He's like, yo, we gotta knock these niggas off, man. All right, we gotta knock these niggas off. That's why you have to get these detention centers up and start completely leveling Jake. That's his plan. They gotta slow this down. All right, that's why they have a campaign to save America. Come on, man, because America's going down the drain, bro. And this is it. This is what it is, man. So yeah, man. Hey, you Jake has been warned. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans have been warned. Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, and we're about to come into some hot times. You better pray. You better pray to the Lord, man. You better find out. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you better find out. All right, because it's about to get real out here, man. And when it turns up, it ain't no turning it down. All right, so yeah, man. Lord willing, you beloved Aki Aminakwa will edify. Lord willing, you were spiritually fed through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai. And with that, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Until next time, beloved Aki Aminakwa. Until next time, hey, Shalom, Shalom.